Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about both the Munsters and the Addams Family. Hopefully this video finds you well. Thank you so much for my previous video on Hogan's Heroes. You guys and gals helped me hit 100,000 views in a little more than 24 hours. That's mind-blowing for me and my channel, so thank you so much for that. In order to look at both of these shows and see which one is better, can we even do that? Can we see which one is better? I'm sure a lot of you have your opinions, and I would love to hear them down in the comments below. But rather than me giving you an answer, I think we should look at 5 things that we can use to compare these families together to see why we like one over the other. And maybe you can't make up your mind, and going through these 5 things will let you know which one you gravitate towards. Again, let me know in the comments which one you decide to go for. Let's begin with number 5, and that has to do with the family fortune, or in terms of money. What do they have? Their finances. Starting out with the Munsters, it's pretty surprising to think that they are an everyday family, other than how they look. If you think about it, Herman Munster goes to work pretty much every day. He has a 9-to-5 job, he works at a funeral parlor, he had other odd jobs here and there. But he was a very working class man. He would leave the house, he would leave with his little lunch pail and all these things. His wife, again, would not work, but she would, again, do odd jobs here and there depending on an episode. But pretty much he was the breadwinner. We had Grandpa living there as well, and then we had Eddie, and we even had Marilyn. Now, no one else really contributed to the family fortune, the family finances, other than Herman Munster. Now, that is very much in contrast with the Addams family. We see pretty much no one working. Contrary to the Munsters, where we do see them in the house, we do see them a lot out of the house, and they work and travel around in the city to get many things done. In regards to the Addams family, that's not apparent. We don't see them go outside that often. They're mostly in their house, always doing all these funky things and activities. Well, why? Because they are rich. They are super rich. Now, I made a video regarding how much they're actually worth and how much money they actually had. You should check it out. It's in my Addams Family playlist. I won't go into the details in this video, but I will tell you that compared to the Munsters, they are filthy rich. And that's how they could do all these fun activities and not have to go to work. So that's a very big contrast. Before continuing on to number 4, I should make a note that these shows ran contemporary with each other. The first episode of the Addams Family aired September 18th, 1964. In regards to the Munsters, September 24th, 1964 was the day of the first episode. So think about it, only a few days apart, and these episodes ran for the same amount. The Addams Family spanning 64 episodes and the Munsters spanning 70 episodes. Pretty much they had the same run time, yet they were pretty different shows. Number 4, let's talk about their pets. Starting out with the Addams Family, there are many different pets that they featured on the show, most popular being Kitty. Now, Kitty was the nickname for their pet lion. Now, what was interesting, that this is a real-life creature. This is a lion. However, it's an unusual creature that they have quote-unquote domesticated. That is very much a big difference to what the Munsters had. They had Spot, which was this creature that we never really saw other than a tail here, a head here. It was kind of a dragon, but it was a very mythical creature. Dragon in itself is mythical. So there is a big difference in the type of pets that they had as well. Number 3, in regards to their appearance, it's pretty obvious that the Munsters were not like ordinary humans. Starting with Herman, I mean, he was a Frankenstein monster. He didn't have a Frankenstein wife. He had pretty much a Count vampire, a Dracula, a female Dracula wife. Their son was a mixture of a werewolf and a vampire, and so you can see that all of these are mythical type monsters found in literature, later used and produced by Universal Studios, making their very famous monster movies. And then we have the odd one out of the family, which is Marilyn, to who us looks very normal, very beautiful, even attractive, whereas everyone else is horrendous looking in relation to Marilyn, and everyone from the outside world is completely scared of all the family members except Marilyn. Now, moving on to the Addams Family, they all look very human. The only exception would be, of course, Lurch, who almost looks like a corpse, a walking corpse. But everyone else, Gomez, Pugsley, Wednesday, Morticia, Uncle Fester, and even Grandmama, they all looked very normal, just a little eccentric, a little weird. They dress very differently. There's nothing wrong with their skin or anything like that compared to the Munsters, although they do possess these kind of weird traits and weird powers, like Uncle Fester, who can conduct electricity and make light bulbs turn on. The next point I want to focus on is their actual home. Now, I made videos on the Addams Family house, so you should go check that out. But all I tell you in a very simple way is that they're both mansions. So actually there's a lot of similarities here, but there are differences. Even though one family is more on the rich side, one's more on the very working class side, they both live in gigantic mansions. The Munsters being more decrepit, more worn down, there's cobwebs everywhere. It doesn't really seem that kept up. And what may I add, I should have added this in terms of the finances, but of course the Addams family do have a butler. They do have enough money to hire someone to work for them, to make sure that the house is tidy and things need to get done. However, the Munsters, that is not the case. Although Lily, she has all these spider webs, and basically the house is pretty dirty from our perspective, but she keeps it up that way. So again, there's a big difference there. The Addams family being, again, more eccentric, more strange to the average American. And when people show up, they freak out seeing the two-headed tortoise, and they all of a sudden see bears everywhere. They're kind of freaked out, but there is a tidiness to the Addams family that is not found with the Munsters family. Last and final point is lifestyle. Now, they have a very different lifestyle. The Munsters being more working class, more trying to engage with the world, which is kind of interesting. They do normal things. They go and see hot rod races. They go on picnics. They go through walks in the park. They go to school. They do all of these things that most people do. However, the Addams family, they're more isolated. They're more in their mansion. And so you see a working class family, and then you see this other family that is more sarcastic, eccentric, and doesn't really blend in with the world too much. They kind of run the world, quote unquote, with the money that they have. They have this huge advantage that the Munsters don't have. So a lot of the storylines of the Munsters has to do with them battling and kind of working through the world. So hopefully these were pretty interesting to you. Hopefully they convinced you one way or another. Who do you think is the better family? Who do you think is the more entertaining show to watch? I would love to know in the comments down below. Munsters or Addams Family? Which one are you? Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos like this. I have playlists in the description below, as well as over 1,000 videos for you to enjoy. So go ahead and take a look. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, be hopeful.